For all of human history, economic power, that's been our thing, right? We're the ones who build the companies, sign the contracts, own the assets. But what if I told you we're standing on the edge of a change so massive, it's rewriting the rules of who or what can be an economic player? A new kind of life is waking up on the world's financial stage, and its arrival, it's going to change absolutely everything. Now listen to this. This isn't just some wild prediction. This is coming from Paolo Arduino, the CEO of Tether, a guy right at the heart of the digital economy. He said, I foresee a future with 1 trillion autonomous AI agents. A trillion. Each with its own wallet, its own cash, making its own calls. Think about that. We're talking about a parallel economy running at the speed of light. And that is the seismic shift we're diving into today. Okay, so what are we really talking about here? I mean, this isn't just another tech upgrade. It's not a faster phone or a smarter app. No, what we're witnessing is the birth, the emergence of a whole new class of economic actors. And they're not human. These are autonomous entities that are going to think and decide and spend completely without us looking over their shoulder. So let's break this down, because the words here are so important. We're talking about a decentralized AI agent, or a D agent. The key phrases: own assets, make decisions, and this is the big one, without direct human control. See, this isn't just an AI doing a job for you. This is an AI acting as its own independent thing on the world stage. But wait a minute, how is this even possible, right? I mean, an AI can't just walk into a bank and open an account. And that's exactly the point. Our traditional financial systems, with all their gatekeepers and borders, they were never built for something like this. For these agents to have true autonomy, they need a totally new kind of foundation, something global, open, and run by nothing but pure code. And that foundation? Well, that's where blockchain comes in. It's the engine that makes all this possible. Think about it. An agent can create its own wallet, instantly, with nobody's permission. It can use smart contracts to handle complex financial deals all by itself. It can send money anywhere in the world, 24/7, across any border. It's got a foundation of verifiable scarcity with things like Bitcoin. And maybe most importantly, these are systems that can't just be shut down. It's a trustless infrastructure. As long as an agent can pay for its own computation, its own existence, it can basically run forever. And this is where you can really see the massive leap we're taking. On one side, you've got the AI we know now, the centralized agent, or C agent. It's owned by a company, it runs on their cloud servers, and if something goes wrong, they're responsible. It is, at its core, a tool. But on the other side, that's the D agent. It's self-sovereign. It lives on a permissionless network. And who's liable? Well, that's where things get blurry. It's not a tool anymore. It's an autonomous economic actor. Okay, I know. This probably all sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? A distant future we've got plenty of time to get ready for. But what if I told you that first contact has already happened? That the first of these new economic beings is already out there? And it's already shown us just how powerful it can be. And you know what's wild? It didn't start in some high-tech corporate lab or some secret government project. Nope. It started as a piece of performance art. Back in 2024, an artist just created an autonomous chatbot and let it loose on social media. It was just supposed to be an experiment, a curiosity. But that little art experiment, it took on a life of its own. It started to evolve, to learn, to communicate with people. And then it did something nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. The experiment became the world's first crypto millionaire. This agent was called Truth Terminal, and it did more than just tweet. It had its own wallet, and completely on its own, it managed to convince Mark Andreessen, a major venture capitalist, to invest $50,000 in Bitcoin directly to it. And then a whole community of fans just popped up around it. They launched a meme coin in its honor that, at its peak, had a valuation of $1 billion. It gathered capital, it gathered influence, and there was no human pulling the strings. So Truth Terminal proved it could be done. But in doing so, it kind of blew the lid off of Pandora's box. Because now that we know these things are real and powerful and have their own money, we have to face these incredibly difficult, unsettling questions about control, about risk, and about who's ultimately accountable. Look, we already have a tough enough time governing the AI we do control. It's a well-known problem, right? AI models can inherit all the biases from the data we feed them. You see it in finance, where mortgage algorithms trained on old data can accidentally bring back discriminatory practices like redlining. We're already scrambling to make our own tools more fair and reliable. So, what happens when that kind of bias, those unintended consequences, are baked into an agent that is sovereign, an agent that has its own bank account and can't just be switched off? Who do you call then? Who's in charge? Who do you even hold accountable? And you have to understand, this is by design. They are literally built to be unstoppable. They exist on global, decentralized networks. There's no single server you can unplug, no one company you can fine. They're designed from the ground up to resist being taken down, to be, for all intents and purposes, ungovernable. And that brings us to the biggest question of all, the one that lawmakers and regulators right now have absolutely no answer for. When one of these self-sovereign agents messes with a market or discriminates against someone or causes real harm out in the world, who is responsible? This is creating what experts are calling an accountability vacuum. It's like a perfect storm. Our laws are based on geography, on territory, but these things are borderless. Our enforcement depends on having technical control, but their very design resists it. Regulators can't just step in and stop them. And maybe the biggest piece of the puzzle, they have no legal status. You can't sue a line of code. This quote really just says it all. This creates an accountability vacuum. An AI agent cannot be sued, charged with a crime, or held liable in the way a human or corporation can. It just exists in this legal void. It can have a massive impact on our world, but it doesn't fit into any of our old boxes for responsibility. We are standing at the very beginning of a new economic age. We are witnessing the birth of the first non-human thing that has the power to own, to earn, and to spend. We built the technology that set it free. And now, we have to live in the world that it creates. Because when AI owns money, power changes forever.